Yeah.
Check.
I'm a little fuzzy. What's up with that?
I sound like I'm not even here. Hello? Hello?
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you just turned mine up like a motherfucker. Yeah, all right. F it. Hey there, kids. Welcome to episode 5 of Not a Podcast, the show where even though there's two dudes talking on microphones, wearing headphones, talking about various topics that might or might not interest other people, I can assure you it is absolutely not a podcast.
It's not.
Today is I have a special guest. That this was an impromptu podcast. For the record, before I say anything, I want to acknowledge that this is the most comfortable way to sit.
Cross-legged?
Yes, smashing the testes.
It's crazy to me that they don't explode. I sit like that sometimes too, and I wonder, why is this working?
Yeah. Like and you can even roll the leg over a little bit more and put the pressure on it, and they get bigger. But there's just not even. It doesn't even hurt.
Did you watch Jackass, the movie?
I haven't seen the new one yet. No.
There's a scene. This isn't really much of a spoiler alert, but they take like 2 pieces of plexiglass that have like little screws where it can tighten the plexiglass, and dude puts his peen in there.
His penis, not his balls, and then he flattens his penis out.
It's completely flat.
It's like a George Foreman grill. You know, you got the meat. You could put like a ball of meat in the George Foreman grill and then smash it. Anyways, my guest today is my good friend, one of my best friends, Ben Hagarty. Simply put, he's a video guy. I guess you could say he's just a creative visionary. He literally works with Jay-Z and Beyonce. Usually I would like make a joke here about like something he does, you know, like if you were Chase, then I'd be like, you know, he masturbates to Jay-Z and Beyonce or something like that. Mainly just Jay-Z. But Ben actually works with Jay-Z and Beyonce, Alicia Keys, edited the Chris Brown documentary. He did the Homecoming documentary, which won a Grammy, right? Yeah. So Grammy Award winner. Yeah, I mean, he's done a bunch of shit. But yeah, Ben should be a good guest. If this not a podcast doesn't go well, it's definitely not my fault. Yeah. It's his, even though he has hosted, tens of podcasts, hundreds plus podcasts?
I've created 230 podcasts. Cal's been on my podcast like 2 times.
Twice.
Yeah, we've had some good combos on there.
We don't even have a couch in here anymore.
Couch is gone.
So it's like, we don't have like a producer to be like, oh, make sure that you put that in the show notes.
Well, it's because it's a small independent podcast, so you just
I don't even have a water. You have a water?
Do we want to start over?
No.
Okay. We can just keep going.
Yeah, this is how we do it. We actually cut a lot, too. See, watch.
Do you really chop it up?
Cut. And we're back.
We just didn't do anything.
Yeah, we didn't do anything.
Yeah,
we didn't do nothing. We didn't even move. Tell me about your journey to L.A.
I think I flew American.
Not the actual trip, but your give me like the summary of like your first 4 years in LA.
Yeah. In a nutshell, I moved here in when did you move here?
You moved in a nutshell. How expensive was it? Like $1,200 a month?
No, it was like a full-fledged set, like nutshell. When did you move here? 2015?
Yeah, or 14 maybe. This will be my 8th year, yeah.
Yeah, I'm on like 7, I think.
Yeah.
So I was here like a year after Cal, and I lived in Iowa prior, and I also used to rap and shit, and I would also open up for the same shows he would open up for.
Time Flies
played all those are shouts to the boys.
Bang type shit.
Chitty Bang, J. Cole. You did the Crit one, right?
Yeah.
That one?
That's weird. That's a weird parallel because I wasn't like supposed to be on that show. Crit just dropped off at the last second, and the only other show that I had done at the time was a tattoo parlor.
Really? Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah,
yes.
they were like, you could hear the arcade games, and like in between songs, you could hear like the tattoos buzzing in the background and shit. It's crazy.
Hey, but now you fucking probably got you interested, and that's why you got your little tattoos going now.
Exactly. I got tattoos. Don't tell anybody.
Yeah, Kyle got tattoos. Don't tell
my mom.
Yeah,
I got slut on my back, on my lower back.
They spelled it wrong though, and it's got the little red underscore thing that means that it's got to correct it.
Right. It's spelled sloot, SLOOT.
Yeah, I don't think any of my jokes are funny.
Yeah, we're probably gonna cut them out.
You can cut them out.
Cut that one out.
2 guys walk in a bar. So anyway, the joke was good, but I moved from Iowa to LA, and
so Ben was shooting BTS for Riveting when I was getting managed by Riveting. We were on the set of Don't Kill the Fun, Chris Brown and 7th Streeter, and I remember I showed up to set because I was like his little baby boy, Andrew's little baby boy, and I just showed up and kind of wandered around, didn't know what the fuck I was doing. Was not a cool individual, but like I guess I kind of felt like I was supposed to be one. And then Ben was shooting BTS for Riveting. He had he was like visiting a friend out here before you even moved.
Yeah,
right?
no, I came to hang out.
Yeah, and he's like shooting BTS for free on this video, and he comes up to me and he's like, "Hey man, what's up? Like I'm Ben and I'm shooting BTS," and I'm like, "That's cool. I'm Cal," and I'm like walking around aimlessly, and he's like, "Hey, I rap too," and I told this on your podcast. I was just in the back of my head. I'm like, man, I've never heard that from another white dude before.
Facts.
Like 100 times, and I hope you don't press play on anything that ever. Just because God, there was so many white dudes that were just like, hey, I rap too, and I'm like, yeah, I know, man. Like we all rap, dude. We all do.
My shit was trash, but the music part of it in the performance section was
you understood the whole like package, all the different elements. But in a nutshell, Ben literally moves into a nutshell. He's like living on mattresses, fucking blow up mattresses and his friends' cribs and shit.
To go back, because the part that's crazy is that when I knew I was going to fly out to LA and hang out with Andrew, who was working with Riveting on a bunch of projects, I was like researching that company. And I saw they had a music division, and Cal was signed to him. And I was like looking up Cal, and I was watching his videos and shit. I'm like, oh, he's from Ohio. I'm from Iowa. And I'm like, holy fuck, this huge company, from the outside looking in, this massive music video company that does Chris Brown's videos. They've done Lady Gaga, all these people. I'm like, holy shit. Like, what a fucking ill situation for Cal. So I'm like, how do I get that too? You know what I mean?
How do I finesse Cal out the spot, slide
No,
in?
I just thought they were signing. I was like, they're just signing people. So I was like, it might be like a label or some shit. So I was like, cool. Like, I'm good too. I'm going to go fucking figure out how to, whatever. So when I'm doing videos and I meet Cal, it was like that Cal cool guy me. He had like some dog you were fostering or some shit that day. It wasn't Dessa. It was like...
Skylar.
Skylar was outside and shit. So Cal's just walking around. Everyone's saying what's up to him. He's dapping up.
I forgot we had that dog.
I see him dapping up Chris Brown, and he's over in the corner. I'm like, man, what the fuck? This is so crazy. Like, I know that this dude was just in Ohio, and now he's in LA, and he can walk onto a set and just say what's up to Chris, and it's all like, it really is real. And I thought that shit was so ill, and then I had to figure out how to finesse I knew Cal would like me. He would eventually like me. He just needed to not. I just told him I was a rapper right away, which is like the worst approach.
Yeah. He didn't know that though.
Yeah, I didn't know that at the time. So I was like, yo, I rap too, just because I felt like we were like same playing field or whatever, but he was like leagues in front of me. And then I had to make a cool video to try to show him that I was worthy of making decent art. And we made a video of
with the drone.
Yeah, on the rooftop.
When drones were first cool, the drones were first coming out.
Yeah, no one had drones and shit. I was kind of ill with it. So we were on a rooftop of like a 15-story rooftop, and we got a little drone video. And then Cal saw it and he thought it was cool, and then we became best friends.
Yeah. I mean, in a nutshell.
No, he never. I don't think you ever came to my nutshell.
Yes. So how did you like jump from? I mean, I know you went like commercial project to commercial project after doing like some credible shit like the doc and then like some music video stuff, going on tour with Schoolboy Q and making the Schoolboy Q documentary, which is incredibly entertaining. And then you jump from that to doing like some more show footy type stuff, like recap type stuff. But how'd you make that big leap from like doing the EA Sports commercial stuff to then like working with the top tier of music?
Yeah, I think off Q's tour was like a 6-month tour, like world tour, right? And then I made like a web series. So I think it was like a 5-part doc daily, whatever you want to call it. Like it came out every couple of weeks, and that shit was kind of booming. And then when I got back from that tour, I started working with like EA Sports and started doing a lot more branded content and shit. So I was like directing for Madden and like making their ads and random shit like that. And then a friend looped me in to got an email. She was like the assistant for a dude that ran another production company. She basically like saw that this company was looking for someone like me and recommended me. And then they had me come in and I like tried out kind of, and they liked me. So they kept inviting me back. And then I was like documenting Beyonce's like road to Coachella, right? She was performing at Coachella, and there's a Netflix film called Homecoming that she put together from this. But basically you see this like kind of behind the scenes process of her developing the show. And while I was doing that, I also started like testing angles for how the show could look on stage, and she saw that shit. And so I ended up shooting like this big, it's called a movie, but I had this huge camera on a rig that I was like portable and wireless, and I was shooting all these epic shots. I ended up shooting like the opening moment in the Coachella film, which is like I think the most viewed clip from Coachella has ever shared or whatever. But then that film ended up winning like a Grammy for Best Music Film, and I shot the fuck out of that with a bunch of huge, massive team. Then they invited me on tour with her and Jay-Z. They did a world tour with, we went everywhere, all over Europe and, the U.S. and shit. And then it was fucking cool. Crazy, right?
And now he works with Alicia Keys.
Now Alicia, I've been working with her on her whole last album drop. And I'm building like an agency now, and I also have this creative collective where I try to give back to young creators and help them out, and that's what the podcast is.
There's a lot of people who I would do a favor for. There's less people who I would stop what I'm doing to do a favor for, like drop everything I'm doing to do a favor for. And there's a very, very short list, like less than 10 people, maybe around like 5 people that aren't my immediate family, where I would drop everything I'm doing and happily do a favor for somebody, and you're one of those people.
My dog. Where the fuck is the VR shit?
He's puckering it.
Bro, we had the VR shit. I just got to do the VR for the first time. I don't know why. I've just ignored it for like the last 5 years.
Which is weird because you're a tech guy.
I am a tech guy, but I thought I knew what it was. I'm buying an Oculus tomorrow.
Yeah, for the porn. He's diddling kids.
I think he did do some shit that's not good.
Yeah, he did. He diddled the kids. But, Subway's one of our sponsors. Just as the rundown is, the podcast is sponsored by Subway. Subway, America's most fuckable sandwiches. Yeah, you should have said big fucking whoop, man. You should have said boo fucking who.
I told her nicely, oh, that's not good?
You should have said, hey, doc, buzz off. So I got a couple tattoos the other day. The first tattoo I got the Z flowers right here, and I know some of you got the Z flowers. Shout out to you guys. I got the X_, like the unsigned logo on the back of my neck. So I guess that means I'm unsigned forever. I can never sell anything. A lot.
I also want to say shout out to everyone that's on Patreon that's still listening to this because you support my friend Cal. The which part?
Patreon.
Yeah, Patreon was my idea. I told Cal he should have done this years ago. Yeah. I also told Cal he should tour years ago, and Dude was afraid to do it, and then all of a sudden he did it, and the endorphins were released.
I know, we know. Ben has guided me through a lot of creative ideas, and but yeah, thank you guys for being a part of the Patreon.
Oh, I wasn't done talking. Yeah, thanks for being a part of the Patreon because it supports this motherfucker, right?
And Clay.
How else is someone supposed to be an artist without getting fucking bent over by a label situation or a management deal or whatever? So to have him be unsigned or whatever and put that shit on, literally put it on his fucking back, is because fans. You know what I mean? So keep doing that shit.
My new Patreon slogan is funded by the fans. I like that. I think that's so tight.
It is.
It's like a GoFund. It's like a constant GoFundMe where the fans are just no, we got this.
Like the dope thing about Cal that I literally have in conversations with like major artists and brands is like Cal's one of the only people that I know that literally when he makes videos, he has to do it with the shoestring budget, right? So he gets the homies, come through, makes a video, but then like is cutting people in on the fucking, what's that shit called?
The percentages.
The percentages. Yeah. And like that is changing the game because at the end of the day, a lot of the times video creators are treated like the way you buy your laptop. Like you just go in, you buy your laptop, the deal's done. That person, the company gets their money, but like it's just done. Where most times with artists, like a songwriter might help write a record and they get a percentage of that song, right? Or a producer, or so on and so forth. So those motherfuckers get to live in the huge houses in the hills and blah, blah, blah. And the video creators get whatever the budget was that the label set aside. And it's like kind of fucked up to watch a lot of my friends that do that shit for a living never make more than just a percentage of the budget. Like I'm talking about like the budget's $50K, director gets like $8,000 and spends weeks putting this shit together. The video comes out, the video gets 100 billion views. The artist continues to make money forever, sells shows, whatever. Cal's putting a stamp in like all this shit by setting like a bar to help kick back money to his people who help him knock this shit out. And I'm just looking at that above the rim picture. It's just funny as fuck.
I know. It's Larry Bird eating Michael Jordan's ass. That's an expensive piece. That's a $50 piece. You know? Look at him. You can see Larry Bird's tongue in Michael Jordan's ass.
I know.
It's hilarious. All right, well, thank you guys for tuning in. I don't know what to say because I'm not a podcast host.
I am. Yo, make sure to fucking, drop a comment on Cal's last video, Ghosts, and tell him Ben was here and say, Ben came, he saw.
He came again.
He came again.
I like that. All right, thank you guys for tuning in. Hope you have a wonderful fucking whatever day of the week this is. We'll see. Hey there, kids. Welcome to episode 5 of Not a Podcast, the show where even though there's 2 dudes talking on microphones, wearing headphones, talking about various topics that might or might not interest other people, I can assure you it is absolutely not a podcast.